Our son, Michael Ebanks, he entered school in fall of 1999, and he was a freshman. He was an aerospace engineer student. He had his pilot's license, and he had to work on Bonfire because his older brother, Keith, had worked on Bonfire. Therefore, there was no stopping him.
In College Station, a huge pile of logs set up for the traditional bonfire collapsed.
They are still picking an enormous pile of logs apart in the hope that maybe a student under there is still alive.
We lost him in the bonfire collapse along with 11 other students.
Michael Stephen Ebanks will always be remembered for his bravery, kindness, and ability to embrace life. He spent his last moments trying to save his fellow workers.
I'm Belinda Ebanks. Jerry Ebanks was my husband. Bonfire Memorial is very important to us and to Jerry.
Jerry heard about Bill through the fact that his son was one of the 12 Aggies that was killed, and then he said, I've got to be a part of Build.
Build was created following the collapse of the bonfire in 1999, and a bunch of core leadership sort of felt this void, and they came together and said, how can we create something for the student body to come together in and work together in? Jerry Ebanks was very involved with Build from the beginning, really championed what we meant to the university.
And so he was a part of Build all the way until last fall when he passed away. He was a good friend, and he was really thankful that he got the chance to be involved in Build, which was a direct reflection of that tragedy.
So we're a student organization that turns empty 40-foot shipping containers into fully functional medical clinics that are shipped all around the world to communities in need. And we do that with the overwhelming support of the A&M student body.
Working with the students, it just gave him renewal. I mean, you're kind of lost after you've lost your family. When they said they were building a medical unit for each of the 12 lost at Bonfire, it was just overwhelming. I mean, we were so honored, and we are still so honored to be a part of that. He had lost 2 sons, therefore, being around students was very important to him, always.
Hearing that one was going to be named for my brother, he was over the moon. And he ended up actually being able to go to Jordan for the dedication, and it just really filled his heart. He got to speak to some of the people who were there ready and needing help, and that really moved him.
Multiple times, Jerry, over the years, has told me about that trip to Jordan, and I knew that trip meant a lot to him. And so I went to Warren and the leadership team right away, and I go, hey, what about building the clinic this fall, dedicating it to Jerry, and then see if we can get it over to Jordan, where it's going to be serving Syrian refugees just like Michael's clinic is.
So when he did pass away, it just kind of automatically clicked that this is something that we should do to honor him. We're actually going to be dedicating this clinic we're sitting in to Jerry Ebanks, and it'll be sent to Jordan to serve right alongside his son. And I think it's just a beautiful way of being able to remember everything that he did for us and allow him to be reunited with his son in that way.
Jerry wouldn't believe.
It would be unbelievable, definitely unbelievable. He would be so honored and just so pleased. He couldn't even begin to imagine that one would be named for him.
The process is it just starts out as a 40-foot metal box with nothing in it. And you kind of walk in there and you're like, I don't see how this could really become anything. And by the end, it has become everything. And it's really crazy to see that.
The students are amazing. Their desire to want to come out and work on this project when it's hot, when the weather conditions are not good. If they see a reason for the project, they buy into the mission of Build.
I feel like Build is the Aggie spirit. It's just a natural extension of the Aggie spirit to be volunteering, and to be volunteering for such a meaningful group where your impact is going to be felt around the world.
The fact that the walls that I've built with my own hands are going to help people in need is really great. I can have an impact on people that I am never going to meet that are continents away from myself.
And so it's really encouraging as a faculty member to see that there's so many students that want to get involved in these kind of projects, that they've learned how to do all the components of constructing the clinics, how to get all the materials, how to get the volunteers lined up, operations, construction. And so they build their knowledge from year to year, and then they pass it on to the next team.
We're looking for students with a passion for service, and we want to channel that into these clinics because it's not just about how they look, it's about the love that goes into them and how that'll carry out through the people they're impacting. I think A&M is really special in what we stand for. And I think it really just comes down to this intangible feeling of the Aggie spirit. And that's what drives people to be out here. And it's what really sets A&M apart from other schools, is that Aggies have this desire and this need to go out and change the world. Even though Jerry wasn't an Aggie, he was still part of this group.
He stood for excellence and selfless service because he always has.
Maybe he was an Aggie.
He just didn't know it.
Having this mobile unit would be beyond his expectations for a legacy.
Do you wish they were here? Oh, you would love this. This is such a blast. Or you turn to tell them and they're not there. Yeah. They're wishful moments.
You know, they say that you never know what life's going to bring you. And you can't even begin to appreciate it until you're an adult, I think, and begin to gather your own family. Michael has built himself a heck of a legacy. Being his dad, I feel like I'm part of that. It just tells me that I've done something right somewhere along the road.